what we get off this land, we need to replace it back to this land and sort of live in harmony with the land. It doesn't rest on one individual, it's also up to all of us to play that part in looking after country and land. So if we don't take care of what's on land here, it's going to affect what's out there in the ocean. You can't separate both of them. They all got to interact to work together.
What is the secret? In my head, nothing has changed these past 20 years, but my face and body tell a different tale. How can I undo time, and whom can I trust with this face? This is why I choose Face today.
So I'm 51 years old and I have an 18-year-old son. And now that I've poured my life into looking after my son and helping him grow up, it's now time for me. My brain is like a 25-year-old still, and I believe that aging is a choice. So when I look in the mirror now and I start to see those lines that bother me, it's not that it's an ego trip or that I want to look like a 25-year-old. I just would like to slow the aging process down so that I can now be in the second part of my life and have my journey now, and it's now my time. And I'm sure most women out there that are my age, that have children, that have gone through this and the children are now going to leave home, can relate. So what I've decided is, rather than go and have an invasive surgery, I found that Face Today have offered what's called a slow facelift. I've done some research into it, I've had consultations, and I've now started my journey with Face Today. So what my journey entails is having laser genesis, which is a laser that goes over the surface of your skin. It's just like a high intense light. It doesn't hurt, there's no downtime, and what that does is stimulates the collagen under your skin. Now, if you mix that laser genesis with other modalities that you can have, like the vampire treatment, which is your PRP, you can work those two in conjunction with each other, and what that will do over the course of 6 months to a year is to give you what's called a slow facelift. So as your face starts to sag down and I get the lines here around my mouth, this treatment will actually slowly lift the lines away from my mouth and also decrease the lines around my eyes. It'll also reduce the pore size and create a better, smoother texture of my skin. All the things that start to affect you as you get older. I'm also unfortunate that as a teenager I had acne, so I have enlarging pores around my eyes, around my nose area, and over time you will see, if you follow my journey, you will see those reduce, and you'll see my eyes lift and lighten, and also the lines around my mouth reduce, and a tightening around my neck.
It's Peter Solaris. I'm a tropical fruit grower. We grow a broad range of different tree fruits. What I want for the landscape is to leave it in a lot better condition than when we took over, and it was a cane farm then, and the rows ran straight from the rise to the road downhill. The soil erosion was absolutely ridiculously bad. In most cases now we run the rows across. We have virtually no exposed soil most of the time. It's usually got a swathe and pinto peanut like we were here. We mulch a lot, use microbes, we look at the soil, we brew our own compost tea out of scrub hen nests out of the forest, and we have 160 acres of rainforest on our block, which is up the top section. We use gravity water from that, and we generate power with the same water as well in the wet season. Changes are we're using less, particularly nitrogen fertiliser, because of microbial activity in the soil, the way we're working with mowing, and that is adequate. And with tree crops you don't want nitrogen often because it stops the fruiting process. We certainly don't want to lose nutrients to the waterways and out to the reef. We're seeing a change in people's attitudes and the way they do things. And farmers are often portrayed as the baddies, but generally they do what people suggest is the best way without going broke. There's better technologies and better ideas, and we can work better with what we've got. And I think that's what we all need to do more with less, on less of a footprint, and do it better on that footprint, and we're seeing it happening really well.